Hi, this is Whispers, and I will be doing the reading for the sign of Libra for the month of October 2024. The deck that I'm using is the Rider-Waite deck by Pamela Coleman-Smith and Arthur Waite. What I've done is I've pulled one overall energy card for the month of October 2024. I also pulled 3 additional cards for each consecutive week of the month of October 2024. So there is going to be a lot of information. So I suggest that you get out your pen and your pad and you write down the information that I'm going to give you in case you want to relate back to it. Now, there is something you can do for me. You can like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It helps. It helps. And indeed, it helps with that algorithm. And even people that connect to my channel and only watch it for 5 minutes or 6 minutes. And my readings are long. A lot of the times I find that people go back and look for the information again. They go back and they re-listen to my video. So what I'm saying is get a pen out and a pad because this one is loaded full of information. And just warning you, it's a fair warning, okay? So it takes a long time to do my readings. It also takes a long time to edit them. I have to listen to them right through, then I have to edit them, then I have to listen to them again to make sure that the edits took place. So I put a lot of effort into my readings, and hopefully, you're enjoying them. Hopefully you're liking my readings and you're coming back continually. That would be nice. But it also would be nice if you'd subscribe to my channel or even just give me a like. So that algorithm will kind of go over the top, if you know what I'm saying to you. Okay, so let's get on with the reading. And the energy card that I pulled for you is the Thirst card. It's the 4 of Cups. And that talks about being motivated by more than material values and pleasures, okay? And it does say that perhaps you're overlooking something. You're pulling away from a period of depression in your life. You're opening up, possibly in an emotional relationship. Maybe someone that you have a relationship with emotionally makes it hard for you to deal with them because perhaps they're immature. Perhaps they're immature and they don't think about things practically, okay? They think about things emotionally. And sometimes they go over the top. And so perhaps you're getting to the period of time where you're like, look, I need a break, right? So this is the energy card. So this kind of says that you're not really focused on other people throughout the month of October. You want more harmony and peace in your life. This could even be an authority figure, even a father figure. That could be someone who acts as a father figure. It could be an uncle, a brother, a cousin. It could be a grandfather, but it could very well be a father figure. And this person is influencing you very heavily in your life, okay? So it does talk about possibly someone in your life, maybe even a father figure, a paternal figure that's going through a period of depression, maybe even psychosomatic illness, okay? But it does talk about someone who has a history of emotional depression. And they're feeling that need to be alone. They're feeling disharmony in their mind and their body and their spirit. And so they're wanting to pull away from other people. So this could be the energy that you are displaying in the month of October as you're going into each consecutive week of the month of October. Maybe you're dealing with so many issues that you are deciding that you need to pull away. You're starting to feel sick. You're starting to get headaches. You're starting to have bouts of insomnia. Things that never happened to you before, perhaps you're having to deal with now, and that's because of the stress that is around you, and you're inundated constantly with this stress. So it does say that you need to take a break. So whatever issues are taking place in each week, perhaps you're feeling a little bit less interested in the things that are taking place. You're not wanting to get involved. You're not wanting to find a solution. So I have to tell you this. I have to apologize for any noise that you hear. I have massive cranes outside my window. I can't do anything about it. They are working on things outside, and so it is what it is. I will hopefully get these readings done before they just shut down my volume completely. So this is the energy card, the 4 of Cups reversed. First 2 days of that first week, you have the World card, and the World card is reversed. And that talks about inertia, okay? It talks about stagnation. You're feeling like you can't move forward. You're feeling like there's nothing that you can do, okay? Now, it does talk about a loss of permanence. Have you quit your job? Have you sold your home? Have you moved away? Are you in a period of reconstructing your life in some way, or even your environment, okay? Now, it does say that you want to fulfill a big goal, or you want to complete a big project, but you're not taking all the steps that are necessary in order to get there. It talks about you losing focus, and as I said, with that energy card, it is going to affect projects that you have taking place in the month of October. So in that first 2 days of the first week of October, okay, you're dealing with these issues. You're dealing with the fact that you're not really wanting to get involved in new projects or go forward with them, okay? But it does say losing focus, slacking off. Just when you have such a short way to go, you're kind of saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I want to pull away. And that's what's taking place in that first week, so be aware of that. You might be experiencing a delay of some sort in completing a project that you need to get completed, okay? But it does say that you need to be more creative in order to move forward in this endeavor, okay? It's basically, your world is kind of topsy-turvy because you've got so many things taking place and you can't seem to focus on in what area needs changing or needs betterment. You're focused on everything. So what it's saying is that, kind of like separate the have to and the maybes, right? And focus on the things that need your immediate attention right now. So I'm telling you, there's a lot here. Okay, so the middle 2 days of that first week, you have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands talks about home and harmony. It talks about marriage and formalization of marriage, okay? Promotion, completion of a goal, moving in with someone, moving into a new locale. Now, I did tell you that you're feeling frustrated and you're needing a break, and maybe you're going on vacation, maybe you're going to the cottage, maybe you're leaving town, maybe you're leaving town and you're finding a place where you can rest, where you can be serene, where you can have that sense of security, stability, and serenity. It might talk about even buying a new home, moving forward in a project that has to do with an environment or a new home. It says that perhaps you're renovating your home. Maybe your home needs repairs, and so you're moving to a new locale in order to be able to accomplish that in your old abode. Now, it does talk about you renovating possibly even your relationships or your life, okay? The family dynamics that are taking place. Maybe you're moving out of home. Maybe you are separating from someone in your life where there was a lot of conflict, a lot of aggression, a lot of argumentative type of energy, and so you're moving away. You're taking a break. You're moving away from a relationship, or maybe you're even breaking up to find this place of serenity in your life. Now, it does talk about perhaps a home business, maybe working from home or working from this place of security and serenity. Okay, it is going to pay off. This move, this perhaps shared ownership of a business or a project or a home is going to pay off. It's going to pay off with greater improved finances and greater security, okay? And it's going to give you a sense of prestige. People that thought that you weren't able to complete something, they're going to be a little bit surprised. They're going to be surprised because you're going to show them exactly what you're made of. You're going to show your mettle. Okay, so let us move into the last 2 days of the first week, and you have a close call. You have the Death card reversed. The Death card reversed also talks about a slow transformation. So perhaps you're in a period of healing, bodily or spiritually or mentally, okay? But it is going to take some time. You need to rest. You need to take some time to yourself. Mentally, you're overwhelmed. You're exhausted. Now, it does say that a close call is going to bring about an ending. So there might be a very profound, frightening experience that takes place. This might even be someone in your circle of energy, because it did talk about your serenity. And serenity, stability, serenity, and health. And then all of a sudden, in the last 2 days, you find that there's something that's taking place that is frightening, and it makes you look at your own mortality. So someone around you may be dealing with a health issue, whether it's a death-defying issue or health issue like a cancer or a kidney disease or a stroke, even diabetes, okay? Those type of things. So someone is dealing with these issues. Now, it doesn't sound like it's you, but you are witnessing it. And it's going to be very unexpected. You're going to find out some information unexpectedly. It's going to happen very suddenly. And so that's going to kind of make you take a close look at your own mortality and see indeed if you are feel insecure in that area? Are you feeling secure in your relationships? Are you taking care of your health? Are you taking care of your proper diet is one of the things you're going to be focused on. Bettering your relationships. Perhaps even not working so hard. Pulling back from taking on so many issues and so many developments that are taking place. You're kind of like taking care of everybody and everything, and it is starting to get overwhelming. So indeed, this card talks about looking at your life in a very close way and saying, you know what, where do I need to fix this? Where do I need to pull back? What do I need to focus on? And indeed, this card really does point to your diet. Along with the other cards that I see here, you're going to have to start focusing on your diet. Are you not eating enough? Are you not, do you need extra minerals in your diet? Do you need vitamins, okay? So it does talk about the holistic practice, practical, realistic, down-to-earth diet plan, okay? Perhaps you are working and you're working all the time, and you see someone that you work with and they're going through an illness, perhaps cancer or high blood pressure or something like that, even sugar, and you have seen them engage in eating a lot of candies and treats and sweets when they go for lunch or in the break room. Okay, you see that it's there and you think, you know what, I've been indulging a little bit, maybe I need to pull back because now look at what I see, what I'm seeing going on. So it makes you focus on your own health, and that is where you are in that first week. You're looking for that stability in your life, but you're also needing to focus on your health so you can also bring that back into balance. It's so hard to focus on the cards when I hear that noise, and I hear it every day, and it is loud. So in the second week, the first 2 days of that second week, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, straight up, it talks about you hanging on to the coffers, hanging on to your money. It talks about security issues, okay? Needing to change possibly your line of work. Maybe you're finding that you're inundated with stress from the job that you're having. And as I said, you needed to pull away. You witnessed someone else going through some traumatic events in their life, health-wise, and now you're saying, you know what? I'm not really sure if I want to do this job, because look what happens when you're overworked and underpaid. Now, it does say that you need to change your line of work. You need to change possibly your environment or your circle of energy, okay? But you are going to build a secure base over time. Now, you might be looking for some handouts. You might be looking for some financial help, maybe even applying for a loan or looking for someone to help fund a project. And you might not get that help. Because everybody is focused on their own security issues. And I mean, the period of time that we're going through in life right now, in the world at large, okay, and I don't know where you're watching from, but everyone is going through financial constraints, and that might very well be what's happening in your area. Maybe you're not able to attain a loan. Maybe you have no one to ask for the help with the extra resources that you need, okay? So you're holding on very tight to the coffers. Looks like you might have found someone to help you out, because in the middle 2 days of that second week, along comes the King of Pentacles. And that is someone who is in some type of production, whether it be food production or whether it be vehicle production, whatever it is. It's someone who would be in charge, the boss, okay? This is someone who is a very hard worker, good provider, very proud of their capabilities, okay? But very staunch in a financial area. They're very, very focused on finances, okay? So this is the type of person that would pertain to perhaps a banker, okay? So you were looking for some help financially, and this person is holding the coins. They're holding the bag of money, and you're saying, can you help me out? And they're looking at you to see if indeed you'd be a good candidate, okay? If you're someone that they want to invest in, if you have a business that they want to invest in, okay? Now, this person is going to be very, very supportive of you. It also talks about you perhaps getting some family money or inheriting something. Something's being handed down the lines. Maybe you're going to have a property or some money that you inherit from someone who's passed. And so that will help you as you are struggling with finances, right? So that's a good thing. Now, this person they have a very strong presence. Very strong presence in their environment, in their home, in their job, in their area of interest, okay? Even in their relationships. They're very, very, what would the word be? They expect adherence to rules. They're very rigid in their authoritarianism. So if they tell you that they're going to give you a certain amount of money and this is what you have to do in order to gain that extra resources, okay, like we said, because you needed the money. So this could be a banker. And if you fall short on what they expect you to do, don't go to them again for help, because they will not provide it. They're very staunch in exactly what they expect, whether that's in a relationship, whether it's in a job situation, in a circumstance, in their living environment even, okay? But this person is definitely going to help you. So if you applied for a loan, know that there will be very strict stipulations on it, and the time period will be very strict and very staunch, but they are willing to help you, and they are going to. Well, you're doing real good here money-wise. You're doing real good money-wise because, once again, you have the Justice card in the last 2 days of the second week. And that talks about you having to make lifestyle adjustments, finding the right balance between your needs and the needs of others. It talks about your work, your social life, your recreation, and you're eliminating outworn forms of education or situations. You're not going with the mainstream. You're pulling away from the mainstream. You're pulling away from beliefs that have been set in stone through the ages. You're defying authority, okay? You're defying those people that say health-wise what you have to do, or medically-wise what you have to do, or possibly financially-wise what you have to do. You're defying them. You're pulling away from them. You're going your own speed, and you're doing your own life. You're investing in your own life, and you have the help. You actually have the help of this earth sign individual, this very staunch protector of the finances. So they are helping you in some way, and Justice, it's looking good on you. So if you've taken anything to court, you're going to win. If there are any battles against you in court, you're going to win, okay? And you're defying the odds. You're defying the odds. People didn't believe in you, and you're proving that you have the mettle and that indeed you are going to achieve exactly what it is you set out to achieve. Now, it does say you're having to divide something fairly, okay? Whether it be punishment, awards, praise, accolades. I mean, if you have started a business and you have some employees, and there's a couple of specific employees who have really, they've stepped up to the plate. They have done their job and plus, right? These people are going to be praised publicly by you. You are going to either give them an award, a certificate, money, whatever it may be, but you are going to be reciprocal in the support that they showed you while you were doing some project you were involved in. So indeed, this talks about a lot of accolades for yourself and your circle of energy who are helping you, supporting you in some way. Now, it does talk about you being very honest and having a lot of integrity at this period in time. So showing other people how much you appreciate what they're doing for you, that's relayed in this card. Now, this also stands for a judge or other legal entity that is going to make a balanced decision, and it is going to look in your favor. So if someone accused you of something, or someone attempted to downplay your efforts, okay, this person is going to say no, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You have the right to do, and you were on the legal side of the law. You weren't doing anything illegal. You were doing something to protect or to take care of what it is that you are in power of. Okay, so let's say you were running a business and you were dipping into different types or different areas where you could incorporate your product, where you could bring your product to the public, okay? And someone says, you know what, that's unfair. That's unfair. And they did that too quickly, and they took my information, or they plagiarized something, right? And you're going to prove it in court of law. You say, no, I didn't. I have my own slant on things. And so, no, you're going to receive, the legal system is going to look in favor on you. So if someone accuses you of plagiarism, or someone accuses you of, taking their idea and running with it, you're going to prove that they're wrong. You're going to prove that the idea was yours to begin with, and you ran with it, and you did well. So there is a sense of competition here. There's competition here where someone is vying to have perhaps the power or the prestige or the information or even the support that you have, and they don't have it. And so they're pointing their finger at you and saying, well, you did this illegally, and that's why you have the support. But know that the legal system is going to look in your favor. So that's a good card to have. Now, it does say that you're having to pull away from a situation to make a balanced choice. Now, this might even be in the legal system, okay? Perhaps you are being judged in some way, and maybe this individual knows of some good work that you have done, or knows of the efforts that you put into a business to make that business run. However, this individual, whoever it may be in the legal system, is having to make a balanced decision, a fair decision. And so they're having to look at all the circumstances and all the information. And so they're having to pull away from the fact that maybe they're favoring you, okay? They're going to have to be very strict in their investigations, okay? And that's what's going to happen. Maybe the investigator is going to be investigated. You know what I'm saying? So it's those type of energies, which is a good thing because it looks in favor on you and the project that you are doing. Now, it also talks about having to make lifestyle adjustments. There are things that are changing in your life, and you're having to make lifestyle adjustments. Perhaps you're even having to become more educated in some project or endeavor that you're getting involved in, and indeed, you're going to do it. You're going to win a court case. You're going to be accepted for a loan. You're going to have a partnership with someone who's very staunch in their loyalty to you. And perhaps you're going to receive a promotion. So definitely, definitely a good second week. Excuse me. So we are moving into the third week. And in the third week, you have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is straight up. And that talks about change happening, and it's not happening later, it's happening now, okay? You need to prepare for the better thing. You need to prepare for the better things that are happening in your life, okay? There are cycles that are taking place. You're going through this constant rotation of that Wheel of Fortune. Now, it does say your life is changing, reoccurring themes. I mean, relationships. If you had a relationship that was solid, you are going to have another relationship that's solid. If you had a relationship that was floundering, you might get into another relationship that flounders. There is a reoccurring cycle that's taking place. It could be conflict. Maybe there were periods of conflict in your life in the past, and now you're finding that once again, there are periods of conflict. But after the rain comes the sun. So your fortune is changing for the better. You're going to get a second chance in your life in all aspects, okay? Whether it be physical, health-wise, whether it be emotional, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a work situation, an education situation, whatever it may be. You are getting a second chance at all positive things in your life, and you're going to run with it. It's going to create a transformation for you. Positive changes in your job, in your finances, in your relationship. Your relationships are going to become more stalwart, more strong. Your communication skills are becoming stronger and more forceful, okay? So you're being able to move forward because you feel this sense of power. You feel this sense of confidence. And that is feeding into the activities that you do. Middle 2 days of that third week, you have the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is reversed. Lord Liftican. This is fear, okay? This card stands for fear. It even stands for resistance to change. So even though you were vying for change in your life, it's kind of like unsettling how quickly it's happening. Now, perhaps you're having to research some type of solution. Unpredictable events or behaviors. Perhaps you were moving to a new locale, and maybe there were some weather problems, and maybe there was a tornado, and your house was like blown off its foundation, and so you're having to adjust to that change. You had given up the place that you were living, you were moving to this new locale, and now you're having to deal with maybe a new foundation being put in, or problems with the house itself or the property itself. So be aware of this and be prepared for it. There might be skirmishes, wars, protests, all sorts of negative situations that are taking place around you, and you're wanting to be in a more peaceful, serene environment. Now, it does say that at one point you had got that. You had gained that, okay, that peaceful sense of serenity. And once again now, as I said, a reoccurrence, okay, a cycle. It's a cyclic conflict that's taking place. So maybe there are some problems in your area. Maybe there's some problems in your area, and your sense of security is being, destabilized, okay? And so you're having to deal with that. But it also talks about perhaps you fearing that there may be things that are taking place that might take place. So you're kind of like worrying yourself to death. You're thinking about what if and when and it might happen, and on and on and on. And so you're making yourself sick mentally. And perhaps you're having a hard time to sleep. You're having a hard time to actually focus at work, or focus on your relationships, or focus on the move that you were involved in. So this card talks about stop worrying so much. Stop worrying so much and focus on one thing at a time, because at this point in time, your serenity is at the top of that list, and it should be the most important thing that you're dealing with. Last 2 days of that third week, Six of Pentacles. It looks like you turned it around. So if you were dealing with financial issues, okay, know that this period of time, the last 2 days of that third week, you will have the finances. You will be able to bring a balance into your life, into your circumstances, and into your home. We're in that last week, and the first card you have in that last week is the reverse tower, okay? And the reverse tower does talk about changed circumstances. It talks about emotional events. It talks about upheavals, having a feeling of inner turmoil, okay? Destruction of false beliefs and ideology that just doesn't resonate with you anymore. You're pulling away from something you believed, whether it's a medical aspect. Perhaps you were on a strict regime of medication from a pharmaceutical company or a doctor, and you're pulling away from that. You're seeing that, you know what, maybe that was causing more damage than it was helping. And so you're pulling away from those type of ideologies. Now, it does talk about neglected chores or problems, okay? But indeed, health issues are at the top of your list because you're ignoring them. You're ignoring them because you're so focused on everybody else's issues and everything that's taking place around you, you were ignoring your own health. So it does talk about a risky lifestyle. Have you been drinking too much? Do you smoke too much? When you go through a period of stress, do you pull out the pack of cigarettes and light a cigarette? So it could talk about lung problems. It could also talk about I think it did say in your cards diet, right? So focused on your diet. So maybe you've been eating too many trans fats. You've been eating too much sugar. You've been eating too much salt, and it's affecting your blood pressure. So you are examining your life and the areas that you need to change in your life when it comes to health. So you're isolating yourself from other people in order to possibly break an addiction or to possibly turn your life around in some way. Now also be very cautious if you're working on a ladder. Tie yourself off. If you're working around electricity, make sure the power is turned off prior to working on it. It does talk about tensions building in a relationship, a close relationship to you. That could be a romantic partner, okay? Maybe this person is feeling left out in the fray, and you're not paying enough attention to them because you're paying attention to your own health and your own needs because you're feeling so frustrated and so overwhelmed. And your partner is saying, you know what, I don't feel like I'm loved. I don't feel like I'm needed, so I'm going to leave, right? So you're dealing with these issues. Maybe someone disagrees with what you're planning on doing or what you're doing. Could also talk about possibly you pulling away from addiction. And you know, when you pull away from an addiction, you feel that sense of anger, frustration, okay? You need that little crutch, and you're not able to do it because you're wanting to pull away. And I've done this. I smoked for so many years, and when I quit, it was so frustrating. It was so hard to quit. And I understand the dilemma. I understand the strength of an addiction. And I was a heavy smoker, just cigarettes, but it's still an addiction. So it does talk about possibly you feeling angry, and it talks about you trying to keep it in check. I suggest that you get some ashwagandha. Take ashwagandha and water, and that helps to bring your cortisol level down. Okay, but only take it for 5 weeks. So check that out. I'm not a doctor, and I don't profess to be. I'm doing that for myself, and it works for my anxiety. Okay, so it does talk about you turning possibly to holistic methods, and it does talk about you trying to keep it in check, trying to hold back that anger that you're feeling, possibly from lack of a crutch. Yeah. So there may be some unexpected blow-ups in your circle of energy, whether it be you or whether it be a partner. It could even be a child of yours that's dealing with being frustrated, feeling like they're being held back in some way, okay? So it does talk about uncertainty, and it also talks about a limited freedom. Someone might be putting a kibosh on some freedom that you had. Maybe you wanted to travel to a new country, and maybe someone in your close circle of energy is saying, no, you can't. It's dangerous there. They're having wars, they're having skirmishes, they're having protests, and we don't think it's safe for you, okay? So maybe someone is kind of putting a kibosh on that, right? So you're not able to travel, and that makes you feel jailed. That makes you feel like you're in prison. You can't move beyond your boundaries in some way. And it could also be in a job. Maybe you're having pressures put on you that you have to do things a certain way, and you're not wanting to. You're feeling pressured. It could be in a relationship where someone is saying, no, I don't want you talking to so-and-so. I don't want you going to see so-and-so, right? So it's the same type of energy. Middle 2 days of that last week, I told you it was a long reading. You have the homelessness card, okay? And that's financial worries, okay? And there might even be a wave of layoffs. Maybe you lose your job, or maybe you're having to economize. You're having to kind of hold back the coin and hold on to it really tight. The 4 of coins you had at the start of the month. And that also talked about having to hold on to your money, but you were able to do it with the help of outside forces. However, the 5 of Pentacles says that possibly you're having to go it alone at this period in time. You don't have that supportive network in the middle 2 days of that last week. It does talk about theft, lawlessness, okay? Disregard for the law. It talks about concern about the loss of status in some way. Maybe you are involved in a relationship where there is emotional neediness, someone that you were in a romantic partnership with. They're not feeling loved because you're so busy focused on the finances, okay? So they don't feel loved, and they're pulling away. And you're feeling that fear of this relationship breaking up. Maybe you love this person deeply, intensely, and you're seeing that they're not happy. And you're scared your loss of status in some way, whether it's a job, whether it's owning a home. You're not able to afford a home, and you see the person you love look at you and say, well, you're not the man I married, or the woman I married. You're not the person who was responsible and who had everything together. I don't want to be in this relationship, and I don't feel protected. I don't feel protected. I don't feel that you love me enough to protect me or to take care of me, okay? So I'm seeing these issues, and it doesn't matter what side of the coin you are, whether you're female or male or other, okay? There is some period of, insecurity when it comes to a home. Could also be jealousy. Maybe you're jealous of the individual that you're in a relationship with. You feel that they have too much contact with other people. But I'm kind of seeing that this might be you. This might be someone you're in a relationship with who is jealous of you and the connections that you have, okay? Because it did say that you were having a lot of communications, you were overwhelmed with the communications you were having, and you were having a lot of having to stand up to the plate and be front and center, and that gets you a lot of attention, right? Whether it be from, your coworkers, whether it be from your boss, whether it be from the people that are around you. And maybe some of those people are from the opposite sex, and maybe they're attracted to you. And maybe your partner is saying, you know what? I don't like the way so-and-so's looking at you. I don't like the way that they're flirting with you. I don't like the way they're always in your close atmosphere, okay? I should be there, right? And so they're kind of saying, well, I don't like that, so I want you to stop it. And that's going to cause disagreements, conflicts, arguments, okay? Changing financial conditions are going to affect your relationship in some way. Be aware of that. And truthfully, if someone is only with you for money or security and they're not there for the long haul, they're not there to help you, it's really not a worthy relationship, is it? I have a hair. Oh, where that hair is. There it is. Okay. So let us move into the last 2 days of that last week. Again, the last card that you have, the last 2 days of that last week, you have the Ten of Pentacles reverse, and that talks about downsizing. Talks about a new job, a new location. You're having to move, possibly for financial reasons, okay? Possibly loss of inheritance. Maybe there was something that you held on to. It could be property through the eons, through the centuries. Maybe it was a family property, an inherited property that was handed down. And this card says that perhaps you are going to lose control of that property in some way. It does talk about a restructuring of your environment or your circumstance, okay? There are different aspects that are coming into play here, possibly at work, in a relationship. It does talk about someone or a situation where there are non-negotiable obstacles or situations or non-negotiable demands that are being put on you or that you are putting on other people. You're not negotiating. You're not one to take any circumstances where you're not getting exactly what it is that you want. Now, if you were buying a property, maybe you bought a house that had a property 500 acres, and the people are saying, yeah, we'll sell you the house and we'll sell you 5 acres, but we're not going to give you the full 500 acres for what you're offering. And that's where the dilemma comes in, okay? So it does talk about moving away from these energies, trying to pull away from some type of responsibility or issue that's taking place with a property, an inherited property in your life. It could talk about dissipation of money or even of something that's been handed down. So let's say there was a property that you inherited. Sorry about the noise. A property that you inherited, and maybe there was a fire and the property was destroyed in some way. And so it does talk about the dissipation of possibly the profit from that property, the property itself. But it does say that if you work and you save and you set goals, you'll be able to rebuild that area of concern, whether it be a property, whether it be land, whether it be a home, whatever it may be, okay? Now, it does say that you're going to live with someone. It says that you're going to leave this property and you're going to relocate once again. Now, there has been 3 relocations in your cards, 3 of them. There was one at the start of the month, the one in the middle of the month, and one at the end of the month. So there has been a lot of turmoil in your life, a lot of moving, going back and forth, relationship issues, having to deal with power struggles, having to deal with financial issues, and it is taking a toll on you, your relationships, and how you feel about these relationships and these situations where you have to be in a place of authority. Maybe you're going to quit a job. Maybe you're going to throw up your hands and say, you know what, I'm retiring. I'm done, right? I could understand that. But it does talk about the stress that is inundating your life, and it is going to start affecting your health if you don't pull away. So your final card, the final week, is saying that, you know what, it's time. It's time to pull away from those energies that were draining you. They were making you sick. You were starting to get involved in situations that were overwhelming. And it sounds like the whole month of October you were in these chaotic circumstances. And it didn't help with the people around you. You know, the people around you were kind of demanding things of you, and you had so many things on your plate. So you know what I'd do? I'd pack a bag and I'd head off to Italy, and I'd take a little vacation. And that's what I would absolutely love to do. So if you're going, give me a call. So I shall see you in the month of November. And hopefully you're not dealing with the loud noise from the cranes and the equipment moving around outside. Hopefully you are finding your place of serenity in the month of October and into the future. So I shall see you in November. Take care, my friends, and be healthy. Namaste.